Are you a vegan or a vegetarian that's looking to get more protein in your diet? We all know that by now vegans struggle with getting enough protein in their diet, so there's no other way to turn but to a vegan supplement, just like this, a protein powder that's supposed to cover all your vegan needs. But is it worth it? What's good, everyone? My name is John Mango from the On the Iron. I'm looking to take your fitness and nutrition knowledge further so you can change your life forever. Now, on this channel, I do a lot of videos that are specific to workouts, building muscle, losing fat, but I also do some supplement review and product review videos just like this one. So if you're new and these are things that interest you, then consider subscribing, hit that button in the corner there. All right, so with that being said, I'm gonna go over the taste test in real time. I've never tried this before. I'm also gonna talk about a review, talking about the macros, micros, all the stuff that you need to know about the Arbonne protein powder. And I'm gonna give you a conclusion and basically some overall recommendations for who should be taking this, even maybe if you're not vegan, it could be a good idea. I'm just gonna jump right into this video. I'm not a vegan. Everybody that follows me knows that I'm not a vegan, but I was always interested in trying these vegan supplements. This is going to be the first time I tried any vegan supplements, so we'll see how it goes. I've heard some good things, but I've also heard some mixed reviews, right? So I looked up on YouTube to see if there's any review videos on this. There weren't that many, so I figured, you know what? I'm gonna be the one to drop that knowledge, right? All right, so the first thing we're gonna do, before I get into this taste test stuff, the interesting stuff, I got my shaker bottles over here, I got the water, so I'm prepared for it, all right? But I wanna talk about the macros real quick. Obviously, this being a protein powder, you wanna make sure that it's extremely high in protein, that's a given, but let's see what the proportions are in comparison to these other powders that I and most other people take. All right, so there's two flavors as far as I'm concerned, at least. There's the chocolate and vanilla, and they're both pretty similar in terms of the makeup on macros and ingredients, okay? So this one, it's gonna be between 42 and 45 gram servings. That's gonna give you about 20 grams of protein total. And the protein is gonna come mostly from pea protein and barely, for some reason it says 4 milligrams of rice protein. So I'm not sure why that's important to include that in there. It might be for providing a complete protein source. I haven't really looked much into that part, but all you need to know is you're getting about 20 grams of protein, and that's per 45 gram serving. Now, if we compare that to a more traditional style whey protein, we're gonna see that for something like a 30 gram serving, you're gonna get closer to 24, 25, sometimes even 26 grams of protein. So when it comes in comparison to, with those regular protein powders, there's no comparison. But of course, you're vegan, you don't really care about those other powders, do you? In this case, the macronutrient split is still pretty good. Now, the amount of calories you're gonna get per packet here is about 160 grams, so that's per serving. Again, that's gonna be a little bit higher than most other protein powders that you'll find on the market. And I'm not necessarily comparing to other vegan protein powders because, again, I'm not so familiar with those, but this may be for some people out there who aren't vegan and think that maybe something with quote unquote safer ingredients would be better off for you. Well, in this case, the macronutrient ratio is decent. You're gonna have about 3 grams of fat per packet, and again, that means per scoop, and you're gonna have about 15 grams of carbs. So this could actually be looked at more so as a meal replacement. So for example, if you have 2 scoops of this protein powder, then you're going to be getting somewhere closer to a meal replacement with, just over 300 calories, a good amount of carbs, fats, and protein in it. All right, so that's the macro breakdown. Pretty good, pretty solid. When it comes to the micronutrients, that's gonna be your vitamins, minerals, and the ingredients. That's what we're gonna go into next. So when it comes to the micros, this is gonna blow any other protein powder out of the water. There's an insane list of micronutrients in here. Tons of B vitamins, tons of, calcium, iodine, magnesium, all that kind of stuff. You're gonna find that a lot more in abundance in these powders than you would in the other one. The ingredients now, when it comes to those, these do have some sort of certifications, so I've been told by the person that sent me these, and it's stuff like, non-GMO or, completely animal cruelty free and that kind of stuff. So obviously this is pertaining more to that population, but I'm trying to compare this to a more general sense, and in that case, the ingredients are gonna be a little bit safer, you could say, a little bit quote unquote healthier than what you'd find in other protein powders. There's still tons of processed stuff, unfortunately, Sorry for all the vegans out there that stand by this, but maybe you don't realize it is still a powdered form of protein. So regardless, it's gonna have a lot of refinement, a lot of process to it. For example, it's got a lot of maltodextrin in it, you know, not the greatest thing there. The ingredients, I'd say is like a B, you know, it's pretty comparable to everything else. I don't know about these certifications, fine, it's animal cruelty free. Other protein powders may have the same, but when it comes to micronutrients, you're gonna find a lot more micronutrients in this, and that's gonna be a huge benefit because, again, if you were to take, let's say 2, 3, even 4 scoops of this a day, which I don't know if I'd recommend that. If you stay tuned to the end of the video, you'll know why. But if you were to take, you know, a couple of scoops of this a day, you could actually be filling in a lot of your micronutrients for that day, a lot of your requirements, which could actually save you money on the multivitamin side of things. So that's something to keep in mind. Definitely a lot more complete package in these proteins. All right, so next I'm gonna talk about the price. The price is actually, I looked online, and for Canadian dollars, we're looking at about 89 bucks. That's before tax, and that actually comes to, I did the math, comes to about $3.35 per serving. That's $3.35 per serving. That is extremely high. You'll find something similar to that. Actually, you usually find less and even cheaper than that for whey isolates. Those are the ones that have very little carbs and are just jacked up pure protein almost. So those ones you pay a premium for because of that. But I guess in this case, you're just paying a premium for the fact that the vegan supplement market isn't nearly as vast. You're getting more micros, supposedly some healthier ingredients, and you're getting more of a meal replacement type of thing. So keep that in mind. But again, 30 servings, if you go through 2 of these a day, that's only 2 weeks worth for 89 bucks. Now, if you add that up, that's gonna cost you quite a bit. One thing to keep in mind is that you shouldn't really be taking this so much, especially if you're a vegan. The only time I'd recommend doing so is if you're in a cutting phase, for example, because that way you wanna keep the protein up a little bit higher, which again is hard to do as a vegan. You usually have more carbs than you do protein, but in that case, if you're cutting, you wanna preserve muscle, you're gonna have to jack the protein up as the carbs come down. So this could be a good time to add one of these supplements in. So again, if this is the general population, you gotta kind of go with value here in the terms of price. If you're looking to spend $90 to $180 per month on protein powder, then you know what? In my opinion, it wouldn't even be worth it at that point, because you'll even save money buying a multi on its own as well as a protein powder, okay? But when it comes to vegans, this is definitely somewhere around the same range as other vegan supplements that I've seen online, or well-known brands like Vega, for example. I know that that's a very pricey brand as well. So I believe that the vegan supplements are gonna be a little bit more of a premium, but you do get some added benefits with that, so keep that in mind. All right, so that's a pretty basic rundown of what this looks like. Just to summarize super quick, the price is pretty high, but for that price, you're getting a micronutrient-packed meal replacement more so supplement, because you're getting a lot more per serving in terms of carbs, fats. Protein's a little bit lower, but again, as a vegan, that's usually okay. So long as you're not taking this multiple times a day, every single day, you should be all right. However, there's one more aspect. This could arguably be the most important aspect, and I know it's a deal breaker for a lot of you out there. So, being that I claim myself to be an expert when it comes to protein taste test, because I've had an infinite amount of proteins in my lifetime, I'm gonna go ahead and try these in real time now. And you know, I usually hate vanilla, so we're gonna start with the vanilla, get that one out of the way. So I got my water here. Let's do this. You know what, if it tastes terrible, I'm gonna drink it anyway because I made room in my macros to fit this protein in. Also, check it out. If you don't follow my Instagram, I want you to follow it. I always keep you updated with daily stuff on there. You know, you can see all of my daily routines, but I'll probably let you in on how this sits with my stomach and stuff, because you never know, maybe I don't react so well to it. I'm gonna give you an update over there. And here we go. Okay, fresh packet. Let me give it the old smell test first. Hey, smells not bad, smells not bad. So it looks a little chunky. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so it looks a little chunky, but I mean, hey, that's what it is. I put quite a bit of water this time, so if it's a little runny, you know, it's my fault, but not a big deal. I'm kind of stoked to try this right now. I always like trying new supplements. I don't know, do you guys find that? Comment below if you like trying new supplements all the time, or just getting new supplements in general for free. I mean, hey, I'm giving this like a sick review right now, that way maybe I get more. It's a little clumpy, but we'll see how it mixes. Obviously, I'm gonna let you know about that. All right, so that's a few shakes and it looks like it mixed up pretty well. Here we go. That was like a little teaser right there. Interesting. Let me give it another go. You know, it's not so bad. It just tastes kind of weird. It's got a weird texture to it, but again, this is from somebody who just came from drinking a lot of whey protein. You can definitely taste that it's a more, sorry, what I meant to say is it's a less refined process than the whey protein. The reason I say that is because you can still taste the ingredients in there. Like, it's not completely masked by these heavy artificial sweeteners that you'll find in the other proteins that make them taste so good. So that's gonna be another bonus here is, you know what? The taste is very tolerable, that's for sure. If I were to rate it on a general scale, including whey proteins, I'd probably rate it somewhere around a 6 out of 10, maybe even a 5, and make it like average, maybe a little bit below average, but it's definitely got a different texture to it. Which again is pretty indicative of a process that's less refined than the whey. Again, this is what you're looking for. Honestly, if you're a vegan, this will be totally fine with you. You'll be just fine with this. But again, this is the vanilla flavor, so I'm gonna try the chocolate flavor next. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say 5 out of 10 max with the vanilla. So not the biggest fan. If you like vanilla, you might enjoy this more, but all right, so after a few sips of that, it was actually getting kind of hard to finish, but that's all right. I finished it. It wasn't so bad, but it's nothing compared to whey protein, I'll tell you that. So if you're somebody who's not necessarily vegan, just general population looking to maybe dive into vegan powders because maybe someone who's about that life convinced you of it or something, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not gonna be pleased with the taste. But again, if you are a vegan struggling with getting the protein, the vanilla is not that bad, but there's still hope because we got the chocolate up next. You know, I'm gonna put a little less water. Okay, pro tip by the way, less water in the protein makes it taste better. So all these people going out there and filling it all up with water and stuff, and then you wonder why your protein tastes like shit, that's why. All right, so here we got the chocolate. It smells like chocolate, what can I say? All right, in it goes. Uh-oh. All right, before I try this one. Okay, I think I put a little too little water. Yeah, that is literally like mud. Okay, I'm gonna put a little more water in before I try it, because this actually looks kind of scary and like disgusting. So I don't know, I'm hoping that this doesn't mean that it went bad or something, but okay. That was a preview. Not tasting too hot. All right, so scale of 1 to 10 on the taste for the chocolate, and again, I'm a bigger chocolate fan. That's gonna be a fucking -30. I just took one sip, and there is no way that I'm finishing this. Like, no way. Like, I will literally throw up if I take one more sip of that. Oh man, that's bad. Good thing I got this water here. All right, so yeah, chocolate is definitely, and again, this is gonna vary a little bit from person to person, but the chocolate is absolutely not tolerable in my opinion. The vanilla now tastes amazing compared to that. So I would recommend the vanilla if you're going to go with the Arbonne protein powder, but the chocolate's bad. The chocolate is very bad. It doesn't taste like chocolate at all. There's not much more I can say about that. Just on to the final thoughts, conclusion of the Arbonne experience. Now, you see this is the chocolate. Here's the experience for that. No, don't even touch it. So the Arbonne experience, my final thoughts, closing thoughts here, considering taste and everything as well. If you're going for the chocolate, don't get it. I would recommend the vanilla for basically vegans only. No general population unless you have some sort of allergy that would prevent you from using other protein powders. But even still, I would stay away from this. If you have a different option, definitely go with something else. For vegans, it's hard for me to recommend any other vegan supplement because, again, I don't have much experience in that. But Judging by what I've seen online and, you know, walking through Lifetime and seeing the Vega Sports or Vega Nutrition, this is very comparable to that. And I've heard some mixed reviews on the Vega stuff too, but again, this is going to be more of a backup plan. So vegans that are cutting and are willing to spend some money and invest in, you know, preserving their muscle with higher protein diet, that I would recommend this for those people. Anyone else, for the most part, especially general population, if you can have whey protein, go with the whey protein. You know, there's even other proteins out there that, you know, egg protein that might be better for, let's say, vegetarians, for example. You know, that would also be better because I've had those in the past. I can't really recommend it more for anybody else other than the population I just mentioned before. So that's my review on the Arbonne experience. I got all the chocolate all over me. That's cool. So that's gonna be it for the review. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. I hope that, you know, since there aren't many videos on this topic, that I can be the one to help you make your decision. I would definitely also recommend that you kind of shop around, see what else there is in terms of options. I'm sure that at this point there's probably some better tasting vegan proteins out there. I'm gonna see if I can find some, and if I do, I'll go ahead and taste test them, review them, compare them to the Arbonne, and see what we can get with those ones, okay? But for now, those are my recommendations. That is my review. That is my taste test. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, my name's John Mango from Beyond the Iron. Looking to take your fitness and nutrition further so that you can change your life forever. That's all for today's video. And leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Any other reviews, products, supplements. I got you covered, all right? Go ahead and share with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on that next video. I'm out.